Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are going to now dive into lesson 2.2. So, working again on our Unit 2 goals of helping students to build their habits of reflection, this lesson will encourage students to anticipate challenges, obstacles, and opportunities to doing good work. As you'll see on our front page here for the lesson, the tools that you're going to need are the 5 dilemmas for the Chalk Talk discussion and the Chalk Talk directions. So you're going to find those tools, those materials, after the lesson plan. You're going to find 5 short dilemmas, and you're also going to find a worksheet that Chalk Talks synthesis, and that's what students are going to be doing for homework after this lesson. Okay, so let's go over some of the activities that make up this lesson. The opener here asks students to think through their own assumptions about success, either by themselves or with a partner. The next activity has students engage in what's called a Chalk Talk exercise to discuss obstacles to doing good work in those 5 different mini dilemmas. We will get into the details in a minute about the Chalk Talk, but if you aren't familiar with Chalk Talk, it can be a great way to facilitate a classroom discussion in a lot less time and sort of like without putting students on the spot in the same way that a traditional classroom discussion might. So after coming back from this activity, you're going to hear back from a couple of the student groups, and you can then introduce a synthesizing homework. And again, we have that homework sheet right here after the lesson, Chalk Talk synthesis. Okay, so that is it for the bird's eye view of the lesson. Now let's get into some of the details of each of the activities. So the first activity here asks students to think about their own connotations of success. So what does it mean to them? What does success mean to them? And how flat or multidimensional is that idea in their minds? The questions here will push them a bit, as well as some of the examples. The next activity is going to launch them into a Chalk Talk. So we have a link to the lesson here. We have a link here in the lesson plans that takes you to a blog, but that blog unfortunately isn't on the website anymore. So I found actually a different video. This is a link here that takes you to an EL video about, it shows you how a Chalk Talk works in a real classroom. So I'm going to link that below in the comments, but I also, if you want to jot it down real quick here, you could probably find it Googling as well yourself, but I just wanted to put that in here because I found that to be a really, really helpful tool in understanding what a Chalk Talk is and kind of your expectations on what you're going to see in the classroom when students do this. So, excuse me. So for this activity, you will put 5 dilemmas over here on this page onto large sheets of paper. Then students will break up into 5 different groups, and each group will be assigned one of the 5 dilemmas. So after students read the dilemma, they will use Post-it notes or sticky notes to consider the obstacles that the main character is facing in terms of doing good work. Every 5 minutes, the groups will rotate to a new dilemma, and students can add comments and ideas already posted about their new dilemma. They can ask questions, they can bring new ideas up, etc. After 25 minutes, giving each group 5 minutes at each dilemma, students return back to their original dilemma, and then you can have 1 or 2 of the groups share out about their experience with the activity. A couple prompts for this reflection are they asking, are they surprised about what other groups wrote about their dilemma? Or did other groups write similar reactions and questions than they had? So finally, you should take a few minutes to explain the homework and also prepare for the homework. So you're going to want to either have students or yourself as the teacher, depending on whether or not students can have photographs or phones or cameras in the classroom. You're going to want to either take pictures of each of the Chalk Talks with all the Post-it notes, or give students a few minutes to write down some notes about their dilemma and about the questions and the comments and suggestions that other students posted on their dilemma. And that will give you also time to explain the homework. So students are going to, in this homework sheet, they're going to indicate the title of the dilemma that they were assigned, and then they're going to choose one of 3 prompts to write a 1-paragraph response related to the Chalk Talk activity. Students will also describe like common obstacles that they saw doing good work in the exercise, and maybe like what kind of obstacles they experience in their own lives. Now, there's a lot going on in this lesson. So keeping in mind that the goal of the lesson, again, is to have students learn to anticipate obstacles and opportunities to good work. If I was teaching this lesson and I didn't have the luxury of time to make sure that I could fit everything in, or if I had a feeling that my class was going to take longer than the 25 minutes for the Chalk Talk, or longer to take notes on the discussion that was going on during the Chalk Talk, if I had to take something out, if I had to drop something, I probably would drop this opener here. I think that it's a really great activity, and it's really important. There are a lot of great questions asked, and it's an important topic to push students on a little bit about. People talk about success and what excellence is, and a lot of times, it helps to push through those first initial assumptions about what that means. That said, I think it could stand alone on its own at a different time when maybe I had a little bit more flexibility. I also think that the Chalk Talk discussion and the homework go together a little bit more, kind of lean on each other a little bit more. And some of the things that come up in the Chalk Talk are going to come back up again in Unit 3. So that's why if I was going to do this one, this is how I would focus on it. As always, make any adaptations that you think that would be appropriate for your particular class, your particular age group. Good luck with it, and make sure that you have some fun teaching this one.